You brought it to life. The fact that you brought it to life with just the visuals and me not explaining it, dude, is perfect. And it hit his individual personality great.
Perfect.
It'll be worth it.
And then this.
Oh, dude, yes!
What was it like scoring your first Western?
Oh man, I'm glad I had some references. I'm glad that I watched a few scenes and got into it because I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and I discovered a whole new world of film, which was really cool. It's been around way before me, so it feels like kind of going back to the roots of film and cinema, which is really cool. And I got to experiment with like merging two worlds of like classical kind of Ennio Morricone and modern kind of symphonic orchestral electronic stuff in a very like tasteful way. I hope it works out.
It works out.
So it's been fun. It's been really fun, and I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to do it.
That was it.
Yeah, because it's the whistle on him, Dale, right? It's almost like an echo effect. You've got the whistle on him with some of the instruments, and then I like how it switches to you right on the first beat, and then it's like whistling back like an echo.
Okay, play one more time. Just one more time.
Okay.
Holy.
Yeah, so watching the film for the first time, it's like you feel this distance from the actors at first, and then as you're watching it over and over again, you start to kind of become friends with these different characters on the screen, and have this. They have their personas, they have their, their characters essentially, and then being able to have met all of them in post-production for ADR, for overdubbing, dialogue, it was like meeting these people for the first time, but also feeling like I already know them. And it was unique with this film because none of them were actually actors or actresses. They were just cowboys and cowgirls that weren't being told how to act. They were being asked, like, what would you say in this scene? And that's how it comes across on the film, and that's how they were in real life, just super authentic, just like how they were in the film. So I got to like wrangle my first, like, use, what is that rope called?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually don't know. Just a rope?
Just a rope.
Lasso.
A lasso. Yeah, got to lasso some stuff and jam out with some an amazing fiddler and guitarist, and and really get into the characters with them. So it was fun. It was really fun.
What was it like doing ADR for the first time?
ADR is it's a bigger undertaking than you'd expect, because it's not just like timing up the new audio to the screen, to the picture, but it's also like creating an environment where the actors can get back into character and say the dialogue with the same kind of like emphasis and body movements and everything. So I think it took a little while to like get a good process down, but then after that it was just like we're flying, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. It was fun to get into it, and there are a lot of moments with ADR that I don't really know what I'm saying.
It's okay. Yeah, dude, no worries. I'm gonna chop all this up anyway.
Okay, cool.
Oh my God. Next thing I knew, we're about to set up camp. So the knife. Everything after that.
Yeah, like slower and like maybe like.
But the viewer recognizes it a little bit, so there's that comfort of recognizing it.
Yeah, because I don't want to overdo this theme, because we're gonna bring it back when you leave, right?
Yeah. He was bleeding. He yelled at me. Dude, it is perfect. I knew with this Western, I had country artists and different people willing to offer their music they already have. That's amazing. That's so good. And it's a blessing that some of the biggest artists in America was willing to let me use their music for my film. But this film, to make it how I want it, it needed to have custom music. But not only custom music, I'm not just looking for a good song. Custom music that brought out the emotion and life of each scene, that felt the style and feel of an old Western. And that was cinematic, that was theatrical, that was, beautiful, but also a work of art. And I reached out to a lot of different artists and people that were professional scorers or liked music or passionate about it. But about a year ago, through a mutual friend, Kyle Smith, he introduced me to Luke, and I saw what he did from a distance, his love and passion for music, the music that he's created, the challenges, the different genres. And even though he hasn't done scoring for a Western before, I saw his talent and his capabilities, and his art and his talent. Like, he's really good. He can create. And I'm like, that's the guy. That's the guy who's going to be a part of Legrand. So I called him. I was like, I'm finally ready. I want you involved. I would love for you to score and write the custom music. But this is what I said. I was like, I want you to be a part of this and do this. But this is the direction. This is what I'm looking for. But then after that, I just handed it off to him. Because I knew his talent. I knew what he was capable of. And I didn't want any restrictions. I was like, from there, create. This is your chance to own the music. Own what you can do. Own who you are. And just go out there and showcase your talent and what you can do, not only for this film, for future films, and a living musician, artist. And don't be scared, don't be nervous, and don't be safe. Just go. In every single scene he has sent to me, or every time I see him playing piano or music live, he's crushing it.
Do you have a favorite song? Or a favorite part you're like, dang, that hit hard?
He's that good.
Yeah.
It's not, because every new scene is a new emotion, a new feel. So it's every song is different. Every tone has a purpose that represents the character, the theme of the movie, or the emotion. You can't, because I look at the whole movie as the song. I look at the whole movie as there's not these cuts, it's this overall press play, not see anything and hear it, and it just brings out Legrand, the Western. So there's no favorite.
So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab those scenes of Ethan. Okay, so we got the Ethan looking back, right?
Yeah, just to look back, it's like,
okay.
Emerson, welcome to the cowboy world. Welcome to Texas. Welcome to all my friends, all my cowboys, the people that you've been looking at and editing over the last month or so. Welcome to Texas and seeing them. How do you feel being deep in the now cowboy Western industry through a Western film?
It's pretty crazy, because I've always wanted to learn more about the Western lifestyle and just cowboys in general. And this was the perfect medium for me to really understand it, because first of all, I'm interested in that, and I am obsessed with filmmaking. So I'm almost merging two, like, one huge passion of filmmaking and an intriguing lifestyle in another, and merging them. And it's just been incredible.
Right there, yep. See how that would work. Just just put them in there on the movie.
Yeah.
The vision that Ben had when he gave it over to me, I could instantly see his vision just based on the edits that he made, even though they weren't perfectly cut, or even there was some dialogue that was cutting over. I could see his vision, and I could see he had this idea of an old style Western, these long takes that are just draw out, just like old Westerns. And we would stay up. We would wait till both of our families would go to sleep. I'd go over to his house at 8 o'clock, and we'd stay up editing till 1 o'clock, sometimes multiple times a week, just getting this edit dialed in. And there was a point where we were like, we really need music, and we're going to have to do ADR because the audio was a mess in some scenes. Once Luke came in and he did a first song to a scene, we both, our
our jaws were on the floor. We were just like, this movie. I can specifically remember when I saw that. I was at home when he sent it over, and I had gotten out of my chair. I was like, I can't believe this is what our movie looks like, because it just took our edit, Ben and I's edit, and Luke just freaking blew my expectation of what it was going to be out of the water. Once we all started working together, and we finally met here. Ben and I have our edit, we're working, and he like, hey, hold on. And he pieced scenes that Ben and I were like, yeah, they're pretty good. He just leveled it up to a level that I didn't even think it was even possible, because he had planned these scenes to cut to his music to add even more emotion. And it was just, the whole time we all were just like, what? This is insane.
Whoa! 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 Shit. Shit. Okay. Shit. Let me paint the picture. So I spent over a year going through all the footage we filmed, and I edited the baseline edit. Only I could do it because I had this crazy weird vision. I puzzle pieced the film, and this is how I see it come to pass. This is how I see the Western coming to life. Then from there, I handed it over to Emerson, who's a professional editor, great, and I wanted him to be able to bring it to life through visual transitions, visual storytelling, cinematography. Even all of a sudden, instantly he brought the color to life, and he jumped on it, and he spent hours and hours and days bringing it to the next level that was out of my reach and out of my expertise and out of my skill level. Then after a while, it was just Emerson and I were, okay, we did it. Now we need to go even further out of both of our skill level. So we got Luke involved, and by the time we were here with Luke, he's not only playing music, but music and sound's a whole other sight to a movie. As weird as it sounds, it's sight, because you're watching it, and as you hear the music and everything, it brings what you're seeing to life. So all of a sudden, Luke would push Emerson out of the way, push me out of the way, sit down, and he's like, okay, and he would re-edit a scene to a tempo of music he's going to write later on that he hasn't even written, because he knows the feeling and the emotion and the tempo that starts the scene off that better feels the character, feels the emotion or the purpose of each scene. So he just brought it to life. It's insane.
It is.
Well, not doing so good these days. Well, they're out there. Can't see them through the window much.
Cool, let's try.
After proving what we can do and just create together and collaboration, imagine after this, look what we can do with a budget. And no longer we can do it with a full-on detailed script from a beginning to an end. That's always flexible. Something I learned from this is, one, I'm with you. It's nice to have a script. Two, and I'm entrusting you. It's nice to be flexible with mutt. We just add sound effects. Right? I have to get some help. Tell me when.
Now.
I'm lost.
I keep trying to match the basket and forgetting to talk. Now next time I tell you to find somebody, you better damn sure found them, or the next one's not going in the shoulder. You understand? Now get on your horse and ride. Cool.
Yes.
He's gonna be right here, and we're gonna be right here, and like dumping bottles, and it was a blast. And then turns out that it was just like we didn't knew how it was. Like he had this ambition, this idea, but putting everyone together, which is like on the patio. We just use bottles as actors.
It was awesome, and you see at the very end, it's just like a choreographed dance from those cuts. And it was like ba 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 ba. Then you always have to. I always like keep in mind how many gunshots. But I always when I watch westerns, you know, like you count them right. Okay, he's good. Yeah. So they were naturally running out. So all the times they ran out, and Bo was like, oh shit, and you know what I mean, reloading. That was all natural moments because he went through his blanks, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite scene that you like to play in the movie?
You know what? I think the scene of right in the hills, right in like the Rainbow Hills or something like that, it was really nice because landscape was fantastic. The desert, the hills, being dressed as a charro and just right in there with Ben and also like all the crew. I think that was my favorite part of the movie.
That's cool. Did you prep any sort of character development before shooting, or did you just like kind of on scene kind of figure it out?
Oof, that's another good one. So I always liked películas mexicanas, like the westerns, the Mexican version, that it was always like this charro who was the hero or the villain or the bad guy or whoever. But this image was always, and it's been embraced in the Mexican culture, that this image of a charro. So growing up, I used to see a lot of movies, and there's some characters or actors that were the influence on this character particularly. So yeah, I did a little bit.
That's cool.
Yeah, the rest of it is just mostly my personality.
Yeah. If we were to do a second movie, do you have an idea what the plot would be? If it'd be Bonnie and Chicho, and like you can go back to those senoritas in Mexico you're talking about.
Absolutely, yeah. Because if there is another like sequel, then it can be. I mean, we're already going south. We're close south, you know, so might as well just go and check in the family.
Yeah.
So it could be an option that Bonnie and Chicho just head south, and that's another experience, you know. Like now it's in the Mexican side, so we'll see.
That'd be sweet.
Aquí traigo tu muchacho.
Well, it would look that way now, wouldn't it?
Pues te lo iba a llevar.
¿En serio? ¿Cuándo, amigo?
Pues ya estamos aquí, ¿que no?
Vamos a ver de qué la estás hecho.
Like, cúbrete, or...
Yeah, because it's but when you say that second part, it's me getting tackled in the middle of it, and you're not fear for me. You almost just say, "Get him, Chicho," you know, and I'm getting tackled. Like I'm not even getting him, but you're still.
I think yeehaw is good.
We're at it together. So you just did it, and then in the midst of me going down, I'm getting tackled down. He could be like, "You got it, Chicho," or something like that. You're cheering me on, even though I'm getting rocked. It's like that contrast of like still it's your character. You got Chicho or something, and I'm just like, oh shit, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. You're on prime, and I'm just getting my ass kicked. You know what I mean? Like
that would be something. Hang in there, Chicho.
Get in there, Chicho.
Yeah.
Get in there, Chicho.
Pues, dale con todo, Chicho.
Yeah, just yell something like that.
Give it everything.
Yeah, get everything.
Pues jálale. ¡Hija! ¡Ay! ¡Cúbrete, Chicho! ¡Dale! ¡Aviéntale! ¡Hija! ¡Ey, Chicho! ¡Agarra la pistola! ¡Cúbrete! ¡Vámonos! ¡Cúbrete, Chicho!
The next generation, so whatever that means. It's the younger teenagers.
Cobardes is like cowards, or like bandidos.
Yeah, perfect.
Pues jálale. ¡Hija! ¡Ey, Chicho! ¡Abusado! ¡Cúbrete! ¡Agarra su pistola! ¡Órale, cobardes! ¡Ándale! ¡Chicho, cuidado con el cuchillo! ¡Corre! ¡Escóndete, Chicho! ¡Cúbrete! ¡Órale! ¡Ahora sí! ¡Ya llegó su padre! ¡Tengan cobardes!
Dude,
Of course,
once again, you're always doing so good, man. I appreciate it. I love you so much.
Too, brother. Take care, cabrón. Anytime. The experience itself of being with such an amazing crew, creative people that allows you to bring this unique perspective and your personality. I believe this was the most like impactful source in this movie. Like every single one of us was our personalities in this movie. So working with real people, amazing actors and amazing human beings has been a fantastic experience, and spend time with them. Like until now, we see each other and it's like we were yesterday filming. So that's amazing.
Yeah, so cool.
So David came yesterday morning. I met him. We have both a love for westerns, and he was cowboying in Mexico half the year, cowboying in Texas the other half of the year. But he just sent me a DM on Instagram, basically saying, "I love what you're doing. I'm so stoked with the western you're making. Whatever I can do to help." And I instantly saw him. I reached out to him. We all of a sudden jumped on a phone call, and we became instant friends. And I was like, I need him a part of this western. I love his character. I love his excitement. I love his love for life. I love his energy and his willingness to do anything. He rides a horse, unbelievable. He has a style and a swag and a feel and a vibe to him. I'm like, he is a living, walking character that I want to bring in this movie and be my ride or die right-hand man. And that's what he is in this movie. So every time I call him, either when we're in NFR in Vegas or shooting the Legrand Western in Kanab, or here doing sound design, he always shows up. He's one of my greatest friends. He's absolutely amazing. A great actor, a great cowboy, great human being, and I'm just so happy to just be friends with him. He's just the best. You cannot love David.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, I just wanted to thank you and mention that you are an amazing human being. Thank you for involving me. Thank you for putting all of this together with such a beautiful people that are passionate about what we're doing. You know, we're just a bunch of rebels and believers and passionate about this, lead by you. And it feels such an honor to have you as a friend and to have you as a colleague in all of this creation and creative world. Thank you so much, amigo, and freaking love you. Stay cool. And vámonos.
Dude, that's special because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I had this idea of making a western, playing dress up, playing cowboy, and meet the people that I get to meet, the friendships that I gain from this is it's remarkable. Just if we make this western and then that's it, it's worth it because I don't know. This is why I'm doing this. It's awesome. Anyways, let's get back to work.
So Hayden, what about the your whole shoulder? So the whole thing, I remember seeing the BTS of Ben popping your shoulder back in.
Yeah.
And then you were in the sling in the movie, and it was like actually like a real issue.
I dislocated it the day before filming. I drove all the way to Kanab, and I got there and told Ben. And he said, "Oh, well, I think I've done this before. You know, I used to wakeboard, and I pop shoulders back in." So we let him pop my shoulder back in, and I don't know what happened, but it hurt, and we figured out a way to make it work in the movie where I could be sling up because I guess whenever we'd be trying to do stuff, man, it would just start popping out, and it was making things pretty uncomfortable. So it was a great and creative crew, so they were able to find a way to fix that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the song that you were playing at the beginning of the film?
It's called If You Take Drugs, You're Gonna Die by the Beaumonts. And good friends of mine out of Austin, Texas, they're a satire band here. And I was trying to think of, I think I was listening to it in the van on the way out there. I was showing my buddy Buster, and it was just stuck in my head. And I think when they handed me the harmonica and I started playing it, that's the first thing I did. I slowed it down a little bit though, but yeah.
So cool. Are there any favorite days or particular scenes that you look back and like, dang, that was awesome. That was awesome scene.
I really liked watching the very end scene, the fight scene, Buster and Ben going at it off the side of that mountain. That was really cool to watch because Ben's such an athletic and a limber guy, and Buster's just this big son of a bitch, you know. So it was cool to watch, and there wasn't a whole lot of choreography to it. It was all pretty natural for them. So that was one of my favorite things to watch there. Man, just the experience getting to hang out with all of these people. You know, I've known a lot of the guys up here before we went down there to film. I was pretty familiar with everybody, but I met a lot of new people that have just become, you know, lifelong friends. And like David was saying, it's when we see each other now, it's kind of like a big family thing. And those are things that I look for in anything that I do. If I can find good people and creative people that are making something really cool come to fruition, I think it's awesome. So I'm just glad to be a part of it. I don't know if I can say this on the camera, but we went to St. George, Utah for one night because we hadn't gone out or done anything, and we had one night to kill, and me and Dusty, Ricky, Bo, and Cody drove all the way to St. George, and needless to say, we turned the town upside down on its head, and that's all I can say about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come here, David.
I have a question. Yeah, come here.
I wasn't there, but I've heard that it was crazy. So I'm glad. Yeah.
Did you have a favorite day on production that wasn't part of filming, like hanging out with the crew, or any particular moment or day that stood out that was like a lot of fun?
Well, not fun like them, because it was actually the same day they went to St. George to pick up someone, and then we stayed. So the fun guys were gone, but we ended up saddling the horses, and then we went to take a ride, and then we found a lake. So I think that was like we're in the middle of the desert, but there's a lake.
Wow.
So it was cool. Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Shelly, fantastic human being. Yes, absolutely.
So how was it? How did you feel about Ben contacting you and saying, "Hey, I want you to be in my Western," but did you know at that point that your character didn't have any dialogue?
No, I did not know anything about my character.
Okay.
And Ben's been talking about doing a Western since the day I met him.
Really? Okay.
Like a few years ago. And I didn't know when, and he just called one day and was like, "We're doing it." And I didn't believe him. But it finally came to the day, like not long after that, and he was like, "Let's go. This is where we're going to be." And I didn't know what to pack. I didn't know if I was wearing dresses or not a clue. And I would just send him pictures of like, should I bring this hide? Like, which hat should I bring? And he'd be like, yes, that. And filled my car, got on. I knew what day I was supposed to be there. I knew what town, but I didn't know where I was going. And it was in Utah and I was in California, and I took off on the road, and I finally called him the next day and was like, "Hey, you want to send me an address?" Because I was like panicking, like I didn't know where I was going to be.
Yeah.
But I tell everybody that asks me about Ben, I say, if Ben called tomorrow and said, "Be here," I'd go. Like, I remember, we like all stayed in the same house, and it was like super fun. And the first night I brought all my hides and everything, like things that I had made. And the first night I'm standing there, and like Bo's just putting stuff on me, and Ben's putting stuff on me, and like pouches and like hides. And I was like standing there like, what am I going to do? Yeah. And I could barely walk because I was like carrying all these skins. And yeah, there were like parts where I was like, I don't know, guys, but I will always follow his lead, because he's just so good at everything he does. So I did it, but there was definitely parts where I was like, I don't know. And then just seeing it, it's amazing, like all the talent. And yeah.
Did you have a favorite day of production of shooting?
I think maybe one of the major highlights where I wasn't in a part was one day after David and Ben had been shooting, or had like a scene like out on the horses. The three of us rode horses back together to the trailer. Mm-hmm. And I just like was looking around like, I'm just with my friends, like this is amazing. That was a highlight.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to add, that was a really good day. It was the end of the shooting. She just hopped on the horse. It was like three amigos right there. It was amazing. So yes, you made that day very, very cool. Yes.
Sweet. Well,
I'm
that's
like,
good.
do I have barbecue in my teeth like the whole time?
No, you're good. There's nothing.
It just was like a bunch of friends hanging out, having fun. All of it. Yeah.
Sweet.
All of it stands out. Like, I don't want to forget any moment. I mean, I think that's one of the most amazing things about the movie and Ben's vision is like we played ourselves in the way that Ben's like sees us, you know? So it's like I make medicine at home. I know all my plants, and I don't maybe like talk a lot about that kind of stuff, but and certainly like we haven't talked about it, but he just knew that about me, and that was the role that I played.
That's so cool.
Good?
Yeah, you're good. That's it.
Oh my God.
Super easy.
Do I want to see it?
Yeah, I'll show you it. Yeah,
Okay.
once I'm done recording. Or,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's him getting shot.
Make the squeaker toy sound.
Shit, I know. So remember, you slide down, and you're running over. You're like,
No, what you need to do is get yourself in the frame of mind. You just slid down like you're running, so you're going to be like, you know what I mean?
The noise of getting hit, and then you don't really need to make a noise from like a thump, just all breathing.
That'll be Foley.
So come right here, breathe a little bit, like
Yeah,
you're just like
like-
running, like you're like almost like when it showed you that close up, like you just came down here.
That was good.
And do one more, just. No, I like that one.
Yeah, that one's good.
Because we can bring that down and it will be midst of everything. Because there's going to be so many other shots. Because you see Bo in the background, he's firing on shots. 7, 8 people. Which is lucky because the people that had the most dialogue was David. He had so much dialogue and he just did so good. And then Bo, he had a lot of dialogue. Those two characters were key characters in the film, and then my character, we just wrapped up my dialogue. Then everyone else's characters were able to have just like a mixture of just a little bit of everything. I'm just mind blown that we were able to crunch everything in. And the way we were, it's not like we just worked 9 to 5. We woke up early, and then last night we worked, and we looked at each other. Luke and Emerson and I were just like, okay, still good? Let's keep going. It's about 11 at night. Okay, let's keep going. A couple hours later, still good? It's around 2 a.m. It's good? Okay, I'm good. Let's go. Keep editing. I mean, we got Emerson editing. Then all of a sudden, tag team Luke jumps in with music through a whole different eye, and Phil is editing through music. Then Emerson editing through transition and film and cinematography. And then Luke jumping into editing, and I'm supporting. And I'm like, whoa, you got to let this drag out way longer. Because we're trying to get this unique, old-fashioned Western that you don't see anymore.
How's that sound to you?
Sounds good.
Cool. Start recording.
Oh. Mister, I've been out here 3 days and I ain't seen a soul.
Hey, compadre. I found the man that you're looking for.
¿Quién es?
Puma. Your blonde-haired friend is traveling with a man named Bonifacio.
¿Dónde? Vámonos. Vámonos.
Cool. So we need you to speak a lot louder, Bo.
Maybe say, I will show you, or something like that. It could just be more of like, something for, like, I will show
Better
you.
for me to take you than to tell you.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Cool.
Cecina? Cecina. Jerky. Cecina. Oh, wait, stop it.
Favorite song? Oh man. Well, there are a few different themes for different characters, and at the beginning there's this, I guess you'd call it the theme song of Legrand, with Ethan and his dad, or with Ben and his dad Ethan, and they're in the opening scene with the what's it called? Stagecoach. And it's just it's a lot of beautiful shots of just scenery, mountains, desert, and that theme, I feel like it fits that scene really well, but then I reuse it by kind of creating different versions of that song throughout pivotal moments of the film when those characters kind of come back into play. And there's one specific part where I'm still composing it, so it's probably going to be my favorite one. But it's where it gets more emotional. So it comes back into that theme song with different layers and different instruments. And it's a pivotal moment of the film because it tells the story of the background between, relationships between main characters, and it kind of helps carry the film along. I'd say that's probably my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of changes with seeing how people react to it, to the different songs. Because there's one that I was actually not too sure about. I was like, okay, I think this works. And it was this banjo, kind of like silly, like weird, twangy banjo theme song for this character who's kind of a side character who is off on his own, and he's kind of lost and he's in the woods. And I felt like it fit his character pretty well, but I wasn't sure. And then seeing the reaction of the other actors and the people involved just loving it, I was like, okay, there's something here, it works, and then it helps me like fall in love with those decisions and those moments more. So yeah.
Sweet. That was perfect.
Cool.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
Just that I'm super stoked to have done this with you guys. I mean, it's not done yet, there's a lot of work to do, but being a part of this Western film has shown that there's this huge culture and like family of Western, not actors, but just like friends and family and people and culture that has been really cool to be a part of, and to have been able to step into that world through art, through cinema, through film, through music. I think it's just been a huge blessing. I couldn't have even imagined this world and stepping into it like this. So I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad that we're doing this.
If I could recap anything, it would be, I can't do this by myself. I have this vision. I'm the one that made this leap. But the only way to bring my vision to life was getting all the right people involved to bring it, basically to bring it to life. Because I could start it, I could get the people there, we could film it, but with Emerson editing, Luke bringing in music, Dusty Sousley, the one who filmed it on location, we got Aaron Burns out in New York coloring it. Everyone that's involved, in the actors and the Cowboys, I'm just super grateful because one, I can't do this by myself, and it takes a world, it takes a team, it takes crazy, passionate, wild people to make beautiful things like this happen. That's willing to pave their own path, to do something that no one else is doing. Once again, I'm no filmmaker, I'm no actor, I'm the last person that should be making a Western movie, but I'm the one that's crazy enough and obsessed enough to just go out and do it. And I found other people just as crazy as me. And now what I could say after this whole 2.5 days, Final Cut Vision is final. So we got an official movie from beginning to end. We got music in process. We got all sound design and ADR, and coloring is happening right now. So all the components are done and working together to be able to be finished by the end of this month. So stay tuned. We're gonna have some fun parties, fun screenings, and events to share more about this process and share this film and what we did, what we're doing, and what we're going to continue to do. Legrand, it's coming soon.